now. Britain's pothole chaos is always in the news. Officials say that Britain's roads are at breaking point and need an urgent investment worth tens of billions of pounds. But savings made from scrapping HS2 apparently won't be available until the end of the decade. Well, joining me now to discuss this is Edwin King, who's president of the AA. Good morning. Well, so afternoon to you, Edwin.
Good afternoon,
Thanks
Julia.
for joining us. Well, look, we were told, this HS2 money that's pledged to resurface 5,000 miles of road using £8.3 billion of cash that would have been spent on the new HS2 line north of Birmingham, putting it on the roads where it really needs to be spent. But it's not going to be available anytime soon. I mean, this is a nightmare for our drivers, isn't it?
Well, indeed it is. We survey drivers and 96% say potholes are the top transport issue. And in terms of breakdowns last year at the AA, we actually dealt with more than 600,000 breakdowns that were related to potholes. So anything from punctures, damaged wheels, suspension, steering. And it's cost drivers about £500 million. Now, obviously, talking about £8.3 billion from HS2, that's a very big figure. It's a lot of money. But it is true that most of that money is back-ended over a 10 or 11-year period. And it is interesting because there was this article in the Times yesterday saying that Department for Transport were pushing the Treasury to bring forward more of those funds. And we actually talked about that in the AA Motoring Manifesto that was launched on Monday.
Everyone's bedtime reading.
Well, indeed. Well, indeed, because we specifically say that money should be brought forward.
Well, especially as the roads are going to get worse and worse. And the longer you leave a pothole, the longer you leave the damage, the more expensive it gets to fix it. This is one of those, stitch in time saves 9 moments. Also, it costs motorists a lot of money. So, it's expensive for your business as well. Our motoring insurance goes up. Again, that prices a lot of people out of motoring when they have to rely on their car. These decisions are all made. I know I bang on about this, everyone, but these decisions are all made in Westminster by people. A lot of the advisors are all, 25-year-olds. They don't own cars, a lot of them. They don't need to. They can cycle to work, or they get our fantastic system, tubes and buses in London. They don't realise 80% of people in this country need to have a car. It's not a luxury. They need it to get about, to get to work, get the kids to school, and to run their businesses. It's not a luxury.
Well, indeed. And, it is costing people hundreds of pounds. And one of the problems here, though, it's not a case just about funding. It really is a case of how that funding is spent. So, one, it should all be ring-fenced so that when local authorities are given money for maintenance, it's spent on maintenance. But more importantly, we need to invest in more permanent repairs. Because as you rightly said, if a crew just turn up and do a really quick patch job on a pothole that's pretty deep, within a month, 6 weeks, that pothole will reappear. Cars will get damaged. People will claim compensation. It is a total false economy. There comes a stage where you have to resurface that structure of road. And there is technology out there. There is equipment out there that can do the job very effectively. But we haven't really had the foresight to invest in that.
Exactly. And a lot of these roads, they're very old. This is kind of old technology. We've moved on. But this thing, we're a first world country. It's embarrassing. Roads in, centre of our cities are completely potholed, look awful. And it does have an impact on efficiency and, people, going about, transporting goods. There's an economic cost to it not being mended at all. Really appreciate you joining us. I know a lot of our audience will be cheering you on there. Edwin King, they're president of the AA. Thank you for joining us. Claire Pistol, is this something to talk about much in government when you worked there?
Not in my department, not in the Home Office, but
I got the tube into work.
They did, but I remember I spent 8 years as a district councillor, and it was one of the biggest issues that anybody raised.
Exactly.